Senator from Michigan.
Madam President, I want to be very clear. The clock is ticking. On October 1st, if Congress fails to reauthorize the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act, we are set to lose an absolutely invaluable cornerstone of our national cybersecurity defense. For the past 10 years, this law has enabled private companies and federal agencies to share cyber threat information both quickly and securely before attacks spread. The protections in this law enable us to mitigate threats before cybersecurity systems become compromised, and irreversible damage is inflicted across our country. If those protections are allowed to lapse, our nation's information networks will be exposed, vulnerable and defenseless, more so than ever before. We face unrelenting cybersecurity threats from criminal hackers and foreign adversaries each and every day. Just this year, hackers backed by the Chinese government exploited a vulnerability with Microsoft's SharePoint, a platform that runs on many of our computers right here in the Senate, allowing them to access critical infrastructure and compromise sensitive government systems. The Colonial Pipeline ransomware incident, which was linked to a ransomware group based in Russia, brought down a critical gas pipeline, disrupting the daily lives of millions of people on the East Coast. The Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act ensures that the government can quickly work with companies experiencing these attacks to stop them from becoming even more widespread. Adversaries like Russia, China, and Iran are actively working to develop better tools and utilize artificial intelligence to supercharge their cyber attack capabilities. If we don't take immediate action to prevent these cybersecurity protections from expiring, we will lose one of our nation's best defenses and empower our adversaries to launch attacks. A lapse in these protections will also embolden cyber criminals to use the same malicious tools to wreak havoc on our economy, exploit America's personal information, disrupt critical services, leaving our government unable to stop them. The bottom line is, if we don't extend these protections today, our nation will be significantly less safe from cybersecurity attacks on October 1st. This should be straightforward. 10 years ago, CISA 2015 was voted out of the Senate by an overwhelming bipartisan support. Most recently, our colleagues on the House Homeland Security Committee just moved an extension of these authorities for 10 years out of that committee by a vote of 26-0. Unanimous. It has a proven track record, and that's why. Over the past 10 years, it has established a trusted public-private partnership that safeguards our nation against ever-evolving cybersecurity threats. This is a voluntary program that industry stakeholders and the Trump administration are asking us to renew. Organizations including the Business Roundtable, the Business Software Alliance, the Banking Policy Institute, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Information Technology Industry Council, and I can go on and on, all support extending these critical protections to ensure that businesses can effectively share information with the federal government and work collaboratively when a breach occurs. There is no question that as cyber attackers get more sophisticated, we will need to do even more to shore up our defenses. But we absolutely must prevent any further harm that would result from a lapse of this proven law. That's why it was disappointing to see that after making a public commitment to work on renewing this legislation earlier this year, the Republican chairman of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee abruptly canceled a committee business meeting this week where we were expected to debate and vote on this very important bill and extension. Committee members on both sides of the aisle want to see action to prevent this law from expiring in the next few days. But we are blocked from even having a discussion about the policy or draft legislation. The chairman's actions are not only at odds with our committee and my colleagues that sit on the Homeland Security Committee, but with our colleagues on the House Homeland Security Committee and Trump administration officials, including Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and National Cyber Security Director Sean Cairncross, all who want to see this extension for 10 years. In April of this year, Senator Rounds and I introduced a bipartisan bill that would provide a clean extension for the law for 10 years, ensuring that the private sector can continue to rely on these protections for years to come. With just days before this law will expire, and without action from the chairman of the committee, I urge my colleagues to quickly pass this bill. Keep one of our strongest cybersecurity defenses in place. If we don't move now, we will essentially open the door for cyber criminals and foreign adversaries to do irrevocable damage to our information networks, our major industries, and our economy as a whole. So, Madam Chair, as if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that the Committee on Homeland Security and Government Affairs be discharged from further consideration of S-1337, and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration, that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Madam President. Madam President.
Senator from Kentucky.
I object.
Objection is heard.